Hey guys, it's Cameron Bobier. Thanks for watching MotoAmerica on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like the channel.
Watch for those lights. You'll know when they come on if you can't see them clearly because the bikes will tell you with the revs going up. Long hold. All right, we are ready. We're green. And it looked like a really good start by Blake Davis on the inside too. And it was. He was able to get inside. Yeah, Rocco slipped a bit. He's back and forth.
That was a quick light. I think it caught Rocco by surprise.
Yeah, and this is good for everyone else right now because they all know that Rocco has pace on them. So for him to be shuffled back a little bit is going to be good for them to at least lead a few laps maybe, or at least a few corners, and hopefully be out and maybe mess up his rhythm a little bit.
Yeah, and Rocco was quickly able to get back up to third. And then you could see right there in fourth, Blake Davis doing a nice job hanging on to that spot. Now, let's see as what we're going to see unfold here. It's Davis leading, then Gus Rodeo, and here comes Rocco up on the outside shoulder. And it's important to remember, of course, that Rocco and Gus here are teammates, and so obviously Rocco wants to make a point here, but he certainly doesn't want to do it at the expense of any risk to Gus.
Yeah, obviously Rocco's a racer, but he also has to understand that Gus is in this championship for the whole season, and he's a fill-in rider right now. So obviously he's going to go out and win and try to win, but being generous with Gus is probably in his best interest.
And also having, knowing he has a little pace on the other guys. He knows he can be somewhat patient. Don't throw it away trying to win the first lap.
And then we see Hayden Schultz there in fourth place, still running with these guys. So it's really cool to see from him, and hopefully he can stay with these guys till the end.
Absolutely. Look at that, Rocco coming up along the outside of Gus as Davis leads down through the final turn. Lap 1 in the books. Just wondering when Rocco is going to try and do something. He's shown the nose a few times, but he hasn't really made any kind of an aggressive move. Might that be coming here now?
Yeah.
Looks to the outside now, to the inside of Gus. Now back behind him again.
Just these top four too look like they're trying to make a break from the second pack. So Rocco pulling up alongside of Gus Rodeo.
Yeah, he both went by Davis, and look at Davis coming back, and that's that draft, isn't it? He slipped back a little bit, got a little bit of a side toe, and right back down deep on the brakes. He's back in the lead.
A little bit stunning. So now he's coming back on the braking zone. We see he was probably 5 bike lengths back and just crowds on the back of them. So. Really cool to see there.
Big adrenaline pump after that crash, I'm sure. So he's riding the wave right now. No question about that, but Rocco came by with him, and those two now, we're seeing them just easing away just a little bit at this point from Gus Rodeo, and then Hayden Schultz behind. Are these two now going to go and mano a mano? And at this stage, with Gus behind him, Rocco's not worried about a teammate. He's just worried about taking points.
And also Rocco last lap, 33.4, that's under the race lap record.
Yep.
That didn't take long, did it?
Rocco was actually around him on the outside, and Blake had gone right back underneath him. So it's good to see Blake's really roughing him up and trying to go for this win.
Yeah, he's not going quietly, that's for sure.
No, you can just tell that confidence with the #1 plate. I mean, beginning of last year, Blake wouldn't have did that now. Now he's a lot more aggressive.
Oh, look at this. 3 wide. Yeah, you're familiar with this kind of stuff. Heading down into turn 4. Old Brett Donahue on the number 10.
Rocco's smoking. I hope that's just a minor thing. Nope, he's losing power.
Yeah, hand up in the air, and look at that. He is beside himself right now.
It's super unfortunate. Here's a replay of that smoke coming out from. He's flipping that throttle.
You can hear it, yeah.
Yep, just right in front of Hayden. I think Hayden ducked to the inside to make sure there wasn't any oil on the track.
That's the worst spot to be for Hayden, behind somebody blowing smoke.
Yeah. You can see he's definitely super frustrated walking back to the pits now.
Yeah.
But for him, he'll regroup. He'll be back at it tomorrow. And now we just look at the lead group with Hayden Schultz trying to bridge that gap again, because with Rocco having that small incident right in front of him, definitely broke that pack up. And you see Jackson Blackman trying to hold on to the back of Hayden Schultz too.
It looks like Gus and Blake Davis look like they're starting to kind of break away from the other two. But if they go back and forth like this, they could slow each other up.
I mean, that 33.2, that was better than the previous outright track record
by
here.
Over half a second, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's quick. Not Rocco's track record, but still right there. So they are flying, and they have clearly made a break. So we've got a great battle unfolding here now between Hayden Schultz and Jackson Blackman.
Yeah, if they're able to kind of work together and these guys fight, I mean, the biggest thing for them is not to give up. That's one of my mottos, not to give up in a race. So if Blake and Gus keep going back and forth, and we have Hayden trying to maybe work together with Jackson, I mean, that could be really good for them to hopefully pull back up to this group. I'm not sure if that's trying to get a better run out of the corner, or what else it is, if he's just having trouble getting the bike slowed into there, because I have seen a few times he lifts that rear wheel, and going into that corner is not always the best feeling. So it looks like
Gus just
they're
went
trying
by
to,
him.
trying to draft each other. This is good though. If they continue to just draft each other, not mess each up in the corner, it's pretty good. We're catching up to lappers now, so I think even with this, they're going to catch some of that draft, and it's going to keep going into a faster pace.
I think so too. Getting that toe off of the lap bikes, both of them getting through clean. And look at this move by Davis, deep on the brakes, and makes it stick at the exit of 10A. Roger, that was a beauty.
Yeah, that was a great plat.
I'd honestly be surprised if he goes and passes him right now, because if I was one of them, I'd want to be Gus, being behind and studying.
Well, he can see this lap now. He's going to get a dress rehearsal for the last lap.
Yep.
Can I make the pass? And if he does it, I think he will follow that last lap. And if he feels like he can't make the draft, he might try to make the move sooner.
It looked like Gus just had a little bit of a moment up in turn 3, and it lost him about 4 bike lengths.
Like I said, a good dress rehearsal. Now we'll see if he can do it on the lap that counts.
White flag out, 1 lap to go. And what he's got to be careful, Gus, does, is he doesn't want to get that run too soon, because we've seen you go by, and we saw Blake do it already, where he just tucks back in, pops out, and then just dive bombs you on the brakes. So this is going to be an interesting study here.
Blake needs to get through here as clean as possible, but Gus is going. He's pushing it right now, and they both need to just have a clean lap. And with Gus or Blake right now, it's going to be super important to try to pull as much of a gap, because he knows Gus is going to draft him on the back straightaway. Definitely got out of turn 5 there a bit better than some of the previous laps. And you see Blake kind of defending that inside going into turn 6 here.
And Blackman and Schultz having a similar battle for that final spot on the podium, so behind them. But we're watching this one. This is for the win. Here we go. Last time out of the most crucial corner on the track, turn number 7. And certainly Rodeo is close enough. Let's see what happens. And he laid back a little bit so that he would get the toe, didn't he?
If I was Rodeo, I'd kind of give him a little bit of a gap and wait to the very end of the straightaway to draft him.
And get right behind him, like directly behind him.
That's exactly what he's
Blake's
doing,
guys. Exactly what he needs to do.
Oh.
There he goes. So that's really cool. Really cool to see that Blake was able to just defend that line, break as late as possible. Now he just has to be sure that he's going to get a good run out of this last few corners here.
Ooh, Gus lifted that front end up a little bit, so that doesn't help. But I'll tell you, that defense by Blake was brilliant, wasn't it? All right.
It looks like Blake
Checker
Davis
is out,
come
and
to the line.
What a run by Blake Davis. That's an immense defense here. Meanwhile, here is that battle. Hayden got through. Hayden got through on Jackson Blackman. What a story. Crashing on the warm-up and coming back and grabbing the podium in an absolutely great scrap.